If I don't stop running away from my fears, I'll never be able to live to my true purpose. It's as simple as that. Today I just caught myself red-handed. I caught my ego red-handed, trying to trick me, setting me up for failure. You see, to explain this a little bit better, the reason I decided to start this series of videos that I called The Journey of the Neo-Revolución del Amor, the new revolution of love, is to try to be as open and vulnerable as I can. And this is gonna sound maybe a little bit selfish, but I'm really doing this for me. I want this to be a documentation of my journey. And in order to do that, I need to show the full range of emotions and experiences that I'm going through. For a long time I've wanted to create videos or films for this channel. For reasons that I don't think I need to explain right now. But the main reason of why I've never done it the way I should be doing it is mainly because of fear. It has definitely been fear in many different ways. Fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough, fear of showing myself in a way that I probably wouldn't be proud of. So for me, doing this in one take, without any cuts, is an intention to show everything, to show who I am. I am a filmmaker, I am a storyteller, I am an artist. And of course I want to create the most beautiful pieces of art that I can create. But I've always struggled with perfectionism. With finding out that perhaps people, or even myself, does not see an authentic message or some truth behind my words. So I'm afraid of doing this way. I'm afraid of living it raw and uncut and unfiltered. And perhaps that's the reason why I'm trying to choose my words carefully. My mind goes way faster than what I'm talking right now. And perhaps I'm stumbling in some words, or I'm missing the perfect pronunciation or grammar. But I really believe that in order for me to fully embrace every single part of me, to honor my whole journey, I need to show everything. I need to show all my parts. So I know that I will be making films, that I will be making movies that are gonna have a totally different, how would I say, a totally different way of expressing and finding their own voice, that are gonna be more polished. But this specific experiment is not that. I'm doing this because I want to get better in many ways. Not only do I want to improve my craft, I also want to improve the way my ideas come into me and the way I express them. I want to improve my English. I want to improve my storytelling abilities. And I often struggle with seeing people online creating their videos or writing or creating their art and saying that they're being vulnerable, because I know that everything happens with a lot of edits. I know that a lot of things get cut. A lot of silences get erased, hum, and I don't feel identified. I don't feel aligned with those messages. The reason why I say that I caught my ego red-handed trying to trick me today is because it's almost midnight and I've spent like 7 hours planning the video that I wanted to shoot today. The idea behind it is fear. At first I just wanted to talk about fear, my experience. Of course, when I started working with it, writing it down, I quickly went into flow state. And it's alright, it's okay, that's the way the process should go. That's the way I want to create my films. Do the research, find some inspiration, find other messages that have been said and shared online and in books, write it down, and try to find a way in which I could say it better, different, or more aligned to my truth, to my message. And that's okay, that's the way creation and art works. But in the process I started going deeper and deeper and deeper, and I started making it into something way bigger, something that I've already been working on. This idea of how to use your fears as a signal of your true purpose. And I find a lot of value in that because that's something that I've struggled with for so long. Fear has built or has created a lot of layers in who I am. I've adopted a lot of masks to protect myself, from the result, from the expectations. And I already had an idea of how to go with this, how to treat this idea. So I started writing a hook, I started writing my introduction, I started writing my presentation, and then the different sections. And once I knew, I already had like 3 pages of a script, and it's great, it's beautiful, it's an actionable plan. It actually solves a problem instead of just talking about fear and how it's manifesting in my life. It actually talks about how to use your fears as a signal, how to acknowledge those fears, how to transform them, and how to use fear as a compass instead of using it as an obstacle, instead of using it as something to get me into contraction. But something didn't feel quite right. I have here the script and the ideas, and one of the first steps, I designed a plan of 5 steps that I eventually want to share with everyone. But first I need to try them out on me. And one of the main parts and one of the first parts is to ask myself a few questions. Try to recognize that fear and see what that fear is trying to protect me from. What am I truly risking by moving through that fear? And I caught myself red-handed. I caught myself being tricked by my ego, being tricked by my ideas, into trying to build something that was not my purpose of doing this. At least this kind of videos that I'm doing right now. These uncut, raw, unfiltered videos. I was trying to polish it and to edit the words, the intentions, trying to make it sense. Trying to make it make sense. And it really hit me. It hit me that that's something that I do a lot with many things in my life. It might not be spiritual bypassing, but it definitely is intellectual bypassing. Trying to make it perfect. And I realized that in order for me to succeed in this adventure, to learn the things that I need to learn, I needed to sit down, press the record button, and just say what I needed and what I'm feeling right now. And that's exactly what I'm doing. This is the first and final take that I'm gonna do tonight. I want this to be a reminder for myself. A reminder for myself to truly release all the expectations. That in order to connect to my authentic self, to my purpose, to my message, and in order for me to fully recognize the whole path that I'm going through, I needed to be fully honest with how I'm feeling right now. And this is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm feeling a little bit I wouldn't call it disappointed, but I'm trying to find a way to reframe this, to transform this into an aha moment. And I know tomorrow when I wake up I'm gonna feel different about it. But I didn't want to let this opportunity pass for me to really show myself how I am, who I am right now. So I don't know for how long I've been talking now. I know that my ideas are probably not making a lot of sense to you. And I'm sorry, but I'm gonna stop pretending that I'm talking